Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, January 20. Jamaica is set to receive its first shipment of COVID-19 vaccines on April 21. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update on the COVID-19 vaccines Global Access COVAX facility during Tuesday's sitting of Parliament. Dr. Tufton says 5% of the population, or 292,399 persons, will be inoculated in April. Other doses will arrive on July 21 and December 21, at which time 16% of the population will be vaccinated. The vaccines will be administered in 2 doses and will be given 2 weeks apart.
The ministry has already commenced its preparation activities for the introduction of the COVID-19 vaccines in Jamaica and for the timely and smooth implementation of vaccines once they become available. The ministry is taking all necessary steps to ensure that safe and effective vaccines are deployed through the continued monitoring of developments related to COVID-19 vaccines.
Minister Tufton says vaccination sites are planned for health centers, with hospitals being set up for frontline staff. They include Bustamante Hospital for Children, Cornwall Regional Hospital, Spanish Town Hospital, Mandeville Regional Hospital, National Chest Hospital, and St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital. The Health Minister also tabled the Cabinet-approved Vaccine Deployment and Vaccination Interim Implementation Plan. He says $3 billion will be used to execute the first phase of the plan. The funds will be used to purchase vaccines, provide for the supply chain, cold storage and transportation, as well as to hire, equip and train staff and sensitize the population. Meanwhile, the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, has begun offering free COVID-19 testing from its mobile unit across communities in the region. SARA encompasses the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas and St. Catherine. The health authorities will be providing the free COVID-19 testing between January 20 and 31, beginning at 10 a.m. Testing started on Wednesday at Shenton in St. Catherine and Stony Hill in St. Andrew. Testing is slated for Thursday in the Washington Gardens, Doheny Park area of St. Andrew and will roll on to Seaforth in St. Thomas on Friday. On Saturday, the mobile unit will be at the Spanish Town Examination Depot in St. Catherine and Paul Bogle Square in St. Thomas. By Sunday, residents in and around Portmore may access free testing services at Ascot High School. The bus will roll into Cromarty and Crescent in Spanish Town on January 30 and Portmore Pines and Silverstone on January 31. Government will be spending $3.5 billion less in the 2020-2021 fiscal year as it makes further provisions to manage the COVID-19 pandemic that's affecting lives and the economy. The figure was tabled in the third supplementary estimates by Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark in Parliament on Tuesday. The overall budget now stands at $850.3 billion, which represents $52 billion for capital expenses and $798.3 billion for recurrent. The Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, PAAC, is expected to review the third supplementary estimates on Thursday, after which it will be debated in Parliament next week. Minister Clark says decisions have been taken to defer payments under the capital budget over to the next financial year, as well as channeling unused funds from ministries to support the government's COVID-19 response.
That available space has either been redirected to other MDAs to meet critical areas of operations, for example in the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the Police Department, or has been cut from the budget.
In light of budgetary cuts in some areas, increases were made to critical areas to advance support in technology, health, national security and economic recovery.
The government remains committed to implementing the required adjustments over the next 3 years to ensure that Jamaica gets back on track to achieving its legislative fiscal targets.
The St. James Municipal Corporation has earmarked $7 million to commence cleanup and restorative work in communities across the parish. These communities were severely impacted by heavy rains that lashed the parish earlier this month. Deputy Superintendent of Roads and Works, Saad Campbell, told the recent monthly corporation meeting that the Finance Committee had approved the funding. Work had started to clear critical drains and debris deposits in the worst affected communities. The rainfall resulted in flooding in several communities and caused severe damage to several roadways in Wilshire, Granville, Leith to Long Hill, Kingsgate, and Belmont. Meanwhile, approximately $91.6 million will be spent in the coming months to repair the damage done to parochial roads and infrastructure as a result of the heavy rains. The Ministry of Housing, Urban Renewal, Environment and Climate Change is inviting public comments and recommendations on the beach access and management policy for Jamaica. Virtual town hall meetings are planned for January 26 and February 2.
We want to hear you, your thoughts and your ideas as we work together to finalize and implement this beach access and management policy that will benefit all Jamaicans for generations to come.
Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. was speaking at a recent virtual media sensitization session on the policy. The policy, which is now in the draft stage of development, seeks to increase access to the wet sand or gravel area of the beach, as well as improve the standards of the public beaches.
We aim to achieve these goals by strengthening the institutional arrangements for the development and maintenance of our beaches, providing increased access for beachgoers to the foreshore and the beach, and providing and maintaining bathing beaches with excellent amenities which take into account environmental concerns.
Persons wishing to participate in the consultations may send written suggestions to policycomments@megjc.gov.jm. To view the policy document, visit mhurec.gov.jm. And finally, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information says all teachers will be paid by Friday, January 22. The advisory comes as salaries for most teachers were not deposited due to a server error. The ministry says the service provider had a significant challenge in processing the payroll for January 2021. While the ministry apologized for the delay, it says it is working with the service provider to have the error resolved. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.